Okay, you're live.
What's cracking, everybody? I hope everything's well out there. We send our to the word of TSoA, folks, and all the supporters. What's going down, man? Anyway, this video is how I got originally validated as an associate of the prison gang, right? Well, you know, like I said many times in my lives, that back in the day, they would find ways to validate anybody and everybody if you were known for putting in work. If you were known for putting in work and earning your stripes and earning your way through the level 4 life. So 2 or 3 pieces of work would get you validated, usually. They'll find a way to smack you with a gang validation of being an associate of a prison gang that they call prison gangs. Now, nowadays they call it security threat groups, STG. So they just, play label switch and label erase and put something else on it, just like they do these whole and say solitary confinement, RHU, whatever. Well, back in the day, I had been down at that time for about 7 years, 8 years, I think, 7 or 8 years. And I had done a few shoe turns, right? I've done a few shoe turns, in and out the shoe, in and out the hole. And on the third or fourth one, they came to me and took me to the hole for investigation of a gang validation, right, into a gang validation. So I came to the hole for about 6 months. And while I was in the hole, I picked up an attempted murder. And, they had a weapon involved, and somebody got fucked up, and the whole 9 yards. And you got life flighted UC Davis from right here in New Folsom. And then that really sealed the deal. But it was already sealed for the gang validation. And unbeknownst to me, while I was on the main line, though, before they came to get me, I had, somebody had sent me 2 letters from an old neighbor of mine in Pelican Bay, who's no longer active. He's no longer GP. He's a piece of shit now. But he had his old lady send me 2 letters. And he had gotten my name because he was my neighbor at Pelican Bay for about a year. And he was a validated gang member. And he had gotten my name off of 602, he did, I was a witness to his accusations. And he won the 602, but he still retained my name and my number. Well, unbeknownst to me, a year and a half later, he had his old lady send me a letter. It never got to me. Then he had her send me another letter. It never got to me. I had no clue of it. I didn't even know who this chick was. I never even met her, don't know her. So now I get fucking slammed for investigation and validation process, and I have no clue why. Well, while I'm slammed in the hole, I catch an attempted murder. Because once they start that investigation on you, it is a wrap. You're done. You are not getting out of it. You're going to the base shoot. And 90% of the people or thereabouts won't even do it. As soon as they go to the hole for that kind of paperwork, that investigation, they're locking up immediately. And that is how they fill these SOI yards so fast. They used to do 60 people at a time throughout the system. 10 here, 20 there, 30 here, 10 here, 20 there. And do massive validations of association sweeps off these yards just to do it and fill the S&Y vacuum because they knew. And that's how a lot of people locked up, because they knew once you go to Pelican Bay, diet, debrief, or parole, that was the only way you were getting out. So about 6 months into it, I catch an attempted murder. And a few months later, they came and brought me what you call a CDCR 128B2. Chronicle. And what that is it's the actual game chronicle that validates you. And they had 5 documents, 3 letters, 2 I didn't know of. 1 I did, and the guy that sent me that letter, he was not even a gang member. He was an associate of an associate, and he wasn't doing shit but telling me happy birthday, and that he has a pen pal hookup for me to some chick in Maryland, and that was it. Well, then they used 2 snitches on me, saying I was a friend of a guy that I was in the shoe with. Well, I mean, I was in the shoe with the guy. Doesn't mean I'm an associate. I mean, it doesn't mean I'm a gang person. You know, I'm just a wood doing my time. Well, lo and behold, it wasn't even none of that. It was the fact that I had put in work. It was the fact that if you looked at my 115s back then, in comparison to a lot of other people's 115s, you know, it would probably scare you. And that's what happened. That's what happened. You know, and they did not want me on these main lines no more. They did not want my type of caliber of man out there. And like I said, they would go around doing major sweeps of gang validation.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
On me, they said I was responsible for having race wars kicking off, and I was keeping it going, and they had to get me out of here to put a stop to it. That was bullshit. That was all bullshit. I was trying to stop the shit from going on and continuing to go on. And they just wanted me out of this prison, which was New Folsom. And the guy that validated me, he said he was coming from Sacramento. And that, you know, because I had came back to New Folsom from Pelican Bay Shoe already, they didn't want me here no more. You know, there was a bunch of shit going on, and my name was being attached to it unbeknownst to me, right? And that's how it works, man. That's how it works, folks. And it was so easy to validate somebody. If you watch the hunger strike movie called The Strike on PBS, that guy Perry, his name was Perry. He was an officer, IGI. He tells you it's so easy to validate people. You know, but once you're validated, you can't get unvalidated. It's a hard thing to beat. So, but that's how I got validated. 2 bullshit letters I didn't know about. I had no clue if the chick sending it, right? Didn't even, like unbeknownst to me at all. And I would have never been cool with that. You know, I never got to read the letters. I mean, they might have been over a lawsuit. They might have, you know, wanted me to be a witness to a case or so. I don't know. But because of who wrote them, allegedly, you know, they were called points, independent points, source points of gang validation, of gang association. And so now I got 2 of them at the time. I mean, at the time I had 2 of them. Didn't even know that they existed. The third one, my homeboy wrote me a letter, you know, happy birthday letter, and hooked me up with a homegirl who's now in Maryland. So they used that one, saying he's not validated, you know, at all. But they said, oh, it showed some type of gang association. And then 2 snitches that I didn't even know, had no clue of any of that. So that's how easy it was to validate people. Myself, anyway. And, you know, back then, they wanted you off that yard, you were getting up off that yard through a bogus validation. And, you know, it takes 3 points. 3 points. You know, 2 points and a direct link. And you could say the 2 letters from the guy up at the Bay were a direct link, but how come I didn't have to have knowledge of it, or even been okay with it, or even said it was an acceptable thing for him to send me letters through this chick, his wife or his lady, which I didn't even know. In fact, I was set up. because he locked up. He debriefed right after that. But he got me validated, you know. So as a parting shot, he got me validated. And, you know, I don't see how that's okay on my end, because I didn't break no rules. I didn't even know that those letters existed. And so anyway, but folks, that's my story here. I wanted to give you guys a little insight. I didn't have people's numbers and names in my cell. I didn't have validated gang members or associates name or roll call list, or I didn't have tattoos on me like that. I didn't have anything whatsoever like that, man. And
this call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
They just did not want me on the main lines, you know. And they knew that by these massive sweeps that a lot of people were going to tap out and never ever even get validated. Just the threat that validation was there and that they were reviewing it on an investigation. Dudes were tapping out like you wouldn't believe. And that fed the SNY vacuum. That's how that thing blew up so big. One of the ways. That's one of the ways. And because dudes didn't want to go to Pelican Bay or Corcoran for life, you know, and so they would go that way, man. They would go that way. And it only took a couple of cops getting together, falsifying a couple 1030s, and then fabricate something else, and you're done. It was not hard. If you were putting in the work and you were trying to earn your way through prison as the way we only knew to do in the 90s and the early 2000s, you know, so, you know, it didn't have to be gang related, you know, nothing. But they fucking sure enough twisted it up that way, like my jokes. The story today, the video today we released earlier, that wasn't gang related. I was sitting here trying to earn some canteen in a legal form. Legal. Like there was nothing wrong with that. But they wanted to turn it into see, they use that as a gang point too. And it's like, oh my God, man. Just talking to a guy. I can't even get legal advice from a guy back then. If he was white, I can't even talk to him. Because you're getting labeled. That's how easy it was, folks. And that's how they kept us in these shoes all them years, man. Yep, that's how they did it. So with that, got some information for you guys on all that right there, man. And I send mine to the worthy. You know who you are. Thank you for tuning in. Hit the like button. Share my shit. Let's spread the message, man. But that's how sickening, that's how sick the system is. That's how disgusting the system is. You know? And then they would keep these, you know, people going back and forth to the shoes for independent acts of violence for 20, 30 years. But boy, once you get an association validation,
you have 60 seconds remaining.
You were done for life. Stay solid, folks. Until next time, I send mine to the worthy, and you know who you are. See ya.